Hey, what's up, classes? It's Mr. Hayes here with a video outlining how to begin Lucid Press, which is the program we'll use to design our two-page magazine article spread. So at this point, you should be done with your anchor article, ready to move on to this step, the last step in the process. Here's how you do it. And before you get going, you may want to find that planner you did maybe last Thursday, where you mapped out where everything is going to go on the two-page spread, where your anchor article is going to be, your text features, your title, etc. You may want to find that so you can use it with this. This is the main page, www.lucidpress.com. This is where you'll start. You want to sign up with Google, so please click that. And with this, it may take a second or two to load. It's possible you'll end up on this page, which is your account page. You may not. I've seen some students get right to documents, but if you do head to this account page, just change the tab at the top to documents. You'll be on the right spot. So again, going to take a second or two to load here. This is sort of your main home page where everyone will begin. Now, there is the possibility you can use a professional template, especially a magazine one. You may want to explore that, but I'd say the large majority of students begin with a blank document. That's what I would recommend. So you're going to hit blank document right here. It'll open up a new tab and take about 5 seconds to load. Might see some sort of inspirational quote here. How proud you should be about being a designer. And then it'll take you to the spot where you actually design your two-page spread. Now, if you'd like to, you can simply click plus a couple of times and design it this way. The reason I did 3 is because the first page is going to be your works cited, and then 2 and 3 are going to be your two-page spread. You're going to put them next to each other, so it's left, right. What I would recommend, though, I'm just going to go ahead and delete these, is after this first page pops up, I would change the format, and I would go over to spreads here on the side. You can see orientation, then spreads. I would click this two-page left, right, back to back spreads option, and then hit plus twice on this side. And that will make it horizontal, right? Left and right next to each other, which is what your printed copy will look like in the end. Keep that first page for your works cited. You're going to create a works cited a little bit later on with EasyBib and Google Docs and copy and paste it to this first page up here. And you'll be designing your two-page spread here on pages technically 2 and 3. If you have a really long article and you want a third page, so you have to glue this on the back of your construction paper when you eventually print it, that's fine. Just click that option there and you'll be able to use 3 pages. But let's say I'm doing 2, which is perfectly fine as well. I've got my back-to-back pages here. The first thing you want to do is share this with me so I can see it and eventually print it in color for you. So if you go to share here at the top, I'd like you to type in my email. And then if you kind of just click out of it, share will come up in blue. You're going to hit that and it should send an email to me so I can access your Lucid Press two-page spread. As I said, I'll eventually have to print this in color for you with the color printer here at school. And I'll need to have access to do that. To make sure you take care of that first. Some tips here on the left, you're going to see some different icons. In order to be able to copy and paste your anchor article over to the spread, you're going to use text boxes. So if you click on this and then simply headings, you can move this to where you'd like it. You can make it bigger, kind of play around with this and figure out what you need to do for your article. That's how you get your anchor article over to Lucid Press, is by creating text boxes and copying and pasting in there. I'm just going to undo that. There's also shapes that you can use if that fits what you'd like to do with your design. You can upload images. You can see some ones from the past year, a lot of Henry VIII. I used to model with that. You can make a chart. There's all kinds of different possibilities here. What I would recommend for actually designing this thing, because it's going to look really small if you stay at this level, is to go to View, the top here, and zoom in a couple times. If you zoom in twice, or you can click the little plus button down here too, you'll be able to see things a lot clearer. So then if I create a text box and I copy and paste and I notice that I've got a typo or two in here, I can change it without having to get a magnifying glass to be able to see. And then as you see here on the right, once you get to that text box, you can see you can change font style, you can center it, bold, italics, underline. You can even do borders to the text box, which might look cool. I would recommend doing borders. It makes your article look very professional and well put together. And then the layout of it as well. You can drag, but also change it. If you want to be really specific, you can change it with some of these options over here. Okay, and then of course here at the top, another way to use text boxes up here. Both creating a text box and also the different kinds of fonts. You can do a strike through, um, all caps. Again, this is going to take you kind of just playing around with things. Font style up here, bold, size, mess around with Lucid Press. You can even do a color if you want to shade in a text box or change your background. You can make the entire background gray. If that's what you'd like to do. You can make the whole thing gray by using this. Okay. So the only other thing that I would say is you want to make sure that everything you do is within these blue lines. If you have stuff outside the blue lines, it's not going to print on a page. It's going to be cut off. But everything you do for your 2 pages should be within these blue lines. Please keep that in mind. You can also do, as I said before, a different color background, but make sure that I can read it. Okay, you may want to go to this button up here, which is preview how your document will look. If you have like yellow font with a purple background or something like that, it may be difficult for me to read. So you may want to test it and see how it looks. You're not going to want a magazine article spread that's impossible for read for students that walk by and want to check out your topic and what you wrote.